Hey friends, welcome to your practice. Today I'm obviously practicing from bed. You practice wherever it feels best for you. Now, I follow this yoga teacher on Instagram. His name is Prasad, and he shared something that I really resonate with and I've kind of thought of just in different terms in my life. And he shared about how we often try to chase these extraordinary feelings, right? Maybe it's with love or with celebrating a holiday or just celebrating something in general or, whatever it is, right? We chase this extraordinariness of life, and in doing that, we really are in this process of avoiding the ordinary, and we cause so much stress and anxiety in ourselves to try to reach that extraordinary place, whether it's with our work, relationships, celebrating something, whatever it is. And I always relate to this on the celebrating side when it comes to anniversaries or holidays or whatever it is. I want it to be memorable, right? And I have a horrible memory, and so for me, part of that is chasing the extraordinary. Now, when it comes to our yoga practice, we do the exact same thing. We chase the extraordinary by trying to do a particular posture, or we try to feel a certain way afterwards. And this practice, I want you to sit with the ordinariness. And I think definitely, if you are sick or you have a disability, you have a chronic illness, you probably have a little bit more appreciation for the ordinary. When your body's feeling ordinary, maybe, or just ordinary things that you have access to or you're able to do or whatever it is. But when I think of my life and all of our lives are, the majority of it is ordinary moments. Brushing our teeth, washing the dishes, waking up in bed, maybe with your partner. Maybe getting on your yoga mat is something ordinary, or just moving your body. Maybe talking to a loved one on the phone, receiving a text from the loved one. All of these things that our brain doesn't necessarily jump up and say, ooh, this is something mega big. I need to remember this. I need to lock this into the memory vault, right? And I know that when I've lost people in my life or I've lost access to something, I miss the ordinary things. The everyday things. Maybe it's as simple as not being able to hear my grandfather's voice anymore, or when I had to make diet changes, not being able to have my favorite cup of tea in the morning that had caffeine in it, right? It's just simple things sometimes that mean a lot and change the way we feel and impact our life. So all of this is to say, today's practice is about being basic and ordinary, and just having appreciation for that, and how we can kind of rest into it, and maybe the anxiety and stress is less. And can that be a really great thing, right? Can we absorb the ordinary and let that be enough? So to begin, just come to any comfortable position. That could be lying down, it could be seated. I'm just going to stay seated because that's where I already am. Hands wherever you like, just softening in your shoulders and your jaw, and begin to deepen your breath. And as you just build this relationship to your breath, whether it feels ordinary today or not, I want you to take a moment to reflect on where you chase the extraordinary. So like me, with celebrating something, is it with your work, with your hobbies? What do you try to make extraordinary? What do you cause yourself anxiety and stress over by trying to chase that, special moment, that special thing? Remember, just reflect on that, how you chase the extraordinary as you build your breath. Trying to have length in your spine in whatever position you're in. You may choose to repeat in the mind, I embrace the ordinary. I embrace the ordinary. Stretch your arms out in front of you. If you're lying down, that could be up to the sky. If you're in your seat, just straight out in front of you. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, curl your pinky in, then your ring finger, middle finger, pointer, and thumb until you make a fist. Next inhale, thumb opens out, then the pointer, middle, ring, and pinky. Next exhale, close from the pinky down, being mindful of each finger at a time, and then as you inhale, open up from the thumb out to the pinky. One more time, closing as you exhale, and opening with your inhale. As you exhale, lower your arms down, and take a big breath in. Exhale, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, hold there for 3, 2, 1, let them soften and fall. We're going to do that again. And if you are seated and you're using gravity to drop the shoulders, you may do it a little quicker, just releasing and letting gravity take over. And take a big breath in. Exhale, shrug your shoulders up and hold for this time 5, 4, 3, 2, let it go. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. As you exhale, lower your arms down. If you are lying down, you may go ahead and come up to your seat. And bring your legs crossed in front of you with your left shin in front of your right. Lift up through your chest, and as you exhale, lean forward any amount. And remember, if you're new to practicing with me, I don't say this in every class, but I try to remind you a lot that if something isn't serving to you physically, you always have the option for visualization. Like, try to visualize yourself moving through that posture, with that breath work, whatever it is. Instead of actually physically doing it, your brain processes the information the same way, and it has huge benefits still, even though in our minds we kind of think like, this is maybe silly, right? Or what's the point? There's a point. It's very beneficial to your brain. As you inhale, come back up to your seat. As you exhale, take a little twist to the left hand behind you, right hand towards the left leg, whether that's on the shin, the knee, the thigh, doesn't matter. And you're really not having a lot of weight in the left hand back behind you. It's a little baby kickstand. The center and root of the posture is in the hips. As you inhale, sit up a little taller, lift through your chest. And as you exhale, just feel your left shoulder gently press back in space. Maybe you look towards the left shoulder, or my favorite option is left ear to left shoulder. So we're offering length through the right side of the neck. Feel that ordinary breath. To me, ordinary means known, familiar, right? And there is a sense of comfort and safety in that. As you inhale, bring your chest to center, reverse the cross of your legs, right shin in front. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, lean forward at the chest. You may feel some broadening across the collarbones. You hug your shoulder blades together on your back. Just breathing. Oftentimes, I think in a yoga practice, teachers kind of guide a little too quickly from one shape to the next, because you get familiar with the sensation, you get familiar with the shape, right? But that's what I always love about it. I love lingering a little bit longer, getting to know the shape and your body and the relationship between the two better. As you inhale, sit up. Exhale, twist to the right hand behind you. Remember, really light kickstand, left hand somewhere along the right leg. As you inhale, sit up taller, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, feel your right shoulder gently rotate back in space. Remember, you can look over the right shoulder or maybe right ear to right shoulder. As As you inhale, unwind to bring your chest to center. Exhale, a little sigh out. Inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, cactus your arms, take a back bend. Feel your ribs press forward and up towards the sky. Think of your elbows about in line with your shoulders, and it doesn't have to be precise, right? Just about in that direction. As you inhale, come back up, neutral spine, arms to the sky. Exhale, feel your ribs hug in, your core engage, navel draws up. Next inhale, cactus your arms, arch the back. Maybe look up. Stay and hold, the breath stays fluid. Next inhale, arms to the sky, straight spine. As you exhale, feel your low ribs knit in and down, navel hugs up. As you inhale, lower your arms down to the ground, bring the soles of your feet together. And start, we're going to take 2 different placements with the feet. So just start in one position. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, lean forward with your chest. You may like gentle pressure of your elbows or your forearms into your thighs. That may be too much on the joints. So then you could just swivel the arms in or have your hands planted in front of you. So many different options. You could always have support under your thighs. If you're practicing bed like I am today, you can stack some pillows under your thighs. 5 breaths. I embrace the ordinary. As you inhale after that 5th breath, sit up nice and tall and choose a different placement of your feet. That means either further away or closer in. It could be by an inch, it could be by half an inch, it doesn't matter how far, okay? So sit up tall. Lean forward any amount, any placement with the arms, blend it in front of you, whatever it is. And try to relax your jaw. I want you to think of the most ordinary things of your life that you would miss if they weren't here tomorrow. What's ordinary for you isn't going to be ordinary for somebody else, right? And truly unique to you. What are your ordinary, everyday moments that you love, but sometimes you overlook? You overlook that appreciation of it. As you inhale, rise up. Keep the soles of your feet together and come to lie back on your forearms. You could always lie all the way down if this isn't serving to your body. And take a big breath in. As you exhale, pick your feet up. And just hold right here. And breathing and lift up through the spine. As you exhale, bring your thighs and inner edges of the feet together. And as you inhale, splay your knees wide. Doesn't matter how far. Exhale together. Inhale wide. With your own breath. Remember, it's not about how many you're doing. You're going to your breath, and if it isn't serving to you physically, visualizing instead. And next time your knees splay out wide, pause there. As you inhale, kick your feet away from you any amount. And as you exhale, bring the heels closer towards you. Again, doesn't matter how far. You don't have to go to your end range of motion just because that is your end range, right? So just meaning you don't have to go as far as your body can possibly go just because that's as far as your body can possibly go, right? You're choosing the range based on what is most nourishing to your body based on what you know today. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your feet down. Rise up to a seat. And cross out your ankles again or find any other comfortable seated position for yourself. Bring your fingertips to your shoulders, elbows out wide. Take a big breath in. Lift your elbows up towards the sky. And as you exhale, start a circle back behind you. Bottom of the exhale is the bottom of the circle. And then as you inhale, come back up. Top of the circle, top of the inhale. And exhale brings you back and down. Inhale, forward and up. With your breath. When you get to the bottom of the circle, next time you're going to reverse it. So as you inhale, you'll come back and up. Exhale, forward and down. With your breath, inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Last 2 circles. The next time the arms reach the bottom of the circle, release, lower your hands down. Lean over to your right side, any amount you can come onto your right forearm. Opening up the left waist, maybe right ear to right shoulder. Who are the ordinary people in your life? And by that, I just mean the people that you're around most, that you have access to most, who support you the most. Maybe today, tomorrow, this week, you could go out of your way to tell this person, hey, I really am so thankful that you're such a big part of my life. Or whatever is on your heart to tell this person. As you inhale, rise up. And as you exhale, walk the left hand over, maybe lean onto the left forearm, only if that's available. Just lean over to your edge until the right waist starts to open. Maybe the left ear hangs heavy towards the left shoulder. They don't actually have to be touching, right? I used to be so subconscious of telling people kind of gushy things, like gushy ways that I appreciated them. And I remember the first Mother's Day that I sent a card to my partner's mom and was just like, thank you. Thank you for everything you did. Like, he's such an amazing person. And like, if you hadn't done everything that you did through raising him, like, I wouldn't be with the partner that I'm with today, right? And I don't know, it just, like, I guess people don't really do that, and I just felt, like, self-conscious to tell her those things, but I really did appreciate them, so I sent the card anyways, and that's something that I've just tried to get out of that, like worrying about being self-conscious of telling somebody nice, like, telling something that you appreciate, that you see in them. I don't know, like, verbalizing maybe something that's like an ordinary thing that people overlook about this person. As you inhale, rise up. And just take a moment sitting up tall. Notice each side of your waist. Any sensation that exists there. Maybe your eyes closed if they aren't already, and if the seat is not a steady position for you that is going to be sustainable, I suggest finding a different position, whether that's lying on your back or one side or something's totally different. Let's start by just becoming aware of ourselves, our breath, our body, our life. I think this was a lot to bring to mind. But I want you to think of something that's pretty ordinary about yourself, your body, but you don't really thank yourself for or find appreciation for often. Maybe it's the way that you're honest with people. Maybe it's the way that you respect other people's boundaries and put up your own to protect your capacity. Maybe it's that you're the person who does send that text regularly to check in on somebody, say, hey, I'm thinking of you, I love you, how are you feeling today? Is there any way I can support you? Maybe you're really good at resting when you need it and honoring that. Maybe you're really good at your job, right? Like, what do you have to appreciate in this ordinariness of yourself? Like, if you were complimenting somebody else, right? If you could take that outsider's point of view looking at yourself, what would you say? I notice the things that I compliment on others rarely have anything to do with productivity. But when I think of myself, like sometimes those are the only things that I like acknowledge about myself. Like, oh, I've done this, I've checked this off, I finally did this. I'm proud of myself for getting that thing done. When that's not what I value in other people. And maybe it's really hard to think of something today. And that's okay. It's okay if you haven't been looking through this lens and trying to compliment yourself in this way. Of course, it's going to be difficult. Of course, you're not going to know what to say. But in my mind today, I just thanked myself for being love so often. And even when I'm not always love, wishing that I'd moved from love in that moment. Let's go ahead and bring to mind somebody that you have very regular contact with. Maybe it's your partner, caretaker, maybe it's a close friend, somebody you work with, whatever it is. I want you to think of something ordinary that's not tied to productivity that you're thankful for about this person. You may stick with this person just thinking about this one thing. You may bring other things that you appreciate about them to mind, or you may shift your focus to another individual. Totally up to you how you engage with this. And even if something isn't coming to mind about that person, just keep thinking of that person. Try to visualize them maybe in your mind. And think back to memories with this person. Just keep your mind focused with that one person. And remember that meditation is simply about focus. It's not about the thing itself. So it doesn't matter if the ordinary kind of compliment comes to mind or not. Just try to stay with that person. Or you can always decide to shift to another person and go from there. What's interesting to me is all the people I've thought of, I had the same ordinary compliment. And I thought that there would be different ones, but today they were all the same, and it was, thank you for embracing who I am, all aspects of who I am. Not being ashamed of anything, not doubting anything. You can stay with this meditation as long as you'd like. If or when you're ready for Shavasana, or final resting pose, you may choose to come to lie down on your back. You could lie on one side, whatever fits best in your body. Remembering that when you enter Shavasana, that this is your time to rest and simply be, to let your mind go, to let your body be heavy. You've done the work physically, mentally, emotionally. And anything that you need to pick up after this practice ends will still be there for you to think of, work on, etc. Acknowledge wherever your mind might have wandered off to. I'm trying not to have any judgment around it, but simply witnessing where your mind went in rest without any particular guidance. You might wiggle your toes or your fingers. You may circle your wrists, turn your toes in and out. You may rock your head a little side to side. Whatever moments feel good to you, choose them all, or choose none, or choose one. Right? Eventually making your way up to a seat. Maybe eyes closed or soft gaze down to the ground, bed. Maybe stacking one hand over your heart and then the other. I'm going to close us out with one round of Loka Samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu, which translates to may all beings everywhere be happy and free. And then just Om, this universal sound, this connection sound. And remember, you can listen, you can join, but really having this intention of letting us all have these ordinary things that expand our hearts, that make us feel safe. If you're joining me, big breath in. And just sigh it out to sync up our breath. Inhale. Loka samasta sukhinam bhavantu. You may choose to bow forward. Allow yourself a moment of gratitude. Something ordinary you have to be appreciative of. It makes a difference of your life, and even taking the time to recognize why, what it offers you, what it does, what it allows. As always, I'm thankful for you, but I don't even consider that as ordinary. I definitely think of you all as extraordinary. And I'm thankful even just today for this bed, right? To hold me, that lets me rest, that comforts my body. And it's even this space that I can teach from and connect with you all, and maybe even give you permission to move from bed more and know that that's still a completely valid way to practice and move your body. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me, for trusting me to guide you today, and I'll see you for the next practice.